build a team in Gears of War, the objective is to pretty much build a brotherhood.
Brotherhoods aren't easy to find, but everybody's looking for them.
When you have that brotherhood, that means you're pretty much saying that I have your back, you know, I'm always gonna be by your side.
Building a team in Gears is about both skill and relationships. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't get along with your teammates, you're never gonna be as good as you could have been.
You talk to these people every day, you text them every day, you crack jokes all the time. You need to have that connection and that bond that no matter what happens, that you're gonna work through the problems.
I feel brotherhood is more than love. I feel it's more like loyalty. You will be there for the person that is there, for your teammate.
I'm gonna be very honest. I came into Gears to do what I love, and I see this as like a business. I don't really see this as me coming here and making friends. Whatever I do in Gears is like what's best for me.
In order to achieve greatness, I truly believe that there has to be a sacrifice that you have to make.
There's some players on the team that didn't reciprocate like the same type of drive and energy to win. We need 4 people that are on the same wavelength, that think the same, which is very hard to do. A team of our caliber should never place 5th.
I respect this gameplay, and I said, yo, this guy is a monster. Like, I wouldn't mind teaming with him. You have to respect their game, because if you don't respect their game, you're not gonna trust them.
When the team breaks up, I feel like it's just sad.
In-game turmoil, outside of game turmoil led to explosive wanting a roster change.
We would see each other, we would walk past each other, but we would never talk, since the betrayal.
You have 5 totally different human beings that have 5 different ideas of how to play the game. If you don't have respect, you don't really have much of anything.
Every single tournament, we go out there and we give it our all.
The objective is to pretty much build a brotherhood. We're playing for the person on their left and the person on the right.
Being at the top, you have this feeling that you're always being watched, everyone wants to take you down.
I'm on the game basically 24/7. It's just all dedication.
Right now, I'm just living the dream of playing Gears of War. I have no regrets, and I'm here to dominate.
I'm trying to achieve a goal and trying to prove people wrong.
It's about winning.
Let's go, man!
I'm sick and tired of losing. I've gotten second 5 times. So I'm ready to get over that hump. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. It doesn't matter who you play with. You have to believe that you're gonna win with that team, because everything in life is a mindset. If you believe that your team isn't gonna place well, then you're probably not gonna place well. If you believe deeply that your team is gonna make a run and you guys are gonna do great, it's probably gonna happen. Whatever the mind can see, it can achieve. I just need 4 people that show up that given Sunday and playing their heart out and trust each other, and I know it's gonna go great if we do that. A brotherhood has been around for centuries and forever, since before gaming was invented. It's just 2 or more brothers that, they're in a relationship. It's pretty much what it is, to be honest. Just someone that you die for and do anything for, and you tell your secrets to, and then they have your back through everything in life. The brotherhoods that are built in Gears they start because we have common interests in gaming, and then you start talking about in real life stuff, maybe problems, or maybe even happiness that you have in life, and then you just build from there. It's just the chemistry you build, getting to know one another. When you have that with 5 people, which is hard to find, you end up becoming successful because everybody's you know, playing for more than just themselves. They're playing for the person on their left and the person on their right. In this game, brotherhoods are built fast and break easily. It's just like anything that you would see in real life. It's just people stop communicating, and sometimes they get back together and become best friends again. Sometimes they just never rekindle their friendship. The truth is that no team lasts. My mom started getting really supportive in like Gears of War Ultimate Edition. She would watch the matches on Twitch. She would send me texts after every game. Her first Gears of War tournament was her 41st birthday, actually. Columbus event in Gears of War 4. Having my mom at that event meant a lot just because the support, you know, she had the time of her life. She even tweeted that, you can go look. She was the first or second Gears of War mom to make a Twitter. Now I know at least 20 other moms. You got dads now, brothers, sisters, so it's cool that I believe that she like paved the way. Why are you really crying?
I just don't think it's okay.
So you're crying because the team changes.
I was just saying it's fucked up.
From what I remember, I believe she was one of the first Gears of War moms to kind of show out and like make a Twitter, you know, show their extreme love and support for their like child, to show that like it's you know, it's okay, like your son's not gonna be embarrassed that you love him. Like whose mother doesn't love him to death, right? Like
after every round, I would just never forget like not looking, just keep looking forward at my screen, not looking at my mom, reaching back, and then she just high-fived me, talking trash to the other team, which was funny. But I don't really necessarily remember hearing what she would say to the other team. I just know that she was saying something to the other team. I would always hear "Come on, boys" towards us, so she was always supporting us, and she would let us hear it. Everybody seemed to love her. It was almost like she was just like a part of like the whole family and stuff, and she loved every bit of it. She's the strongest woman I know, you know, going through divorces and losing your house. She battled with drug addiction. I feel like as a little kid, always knowing that she was a drug addict, you always would mentally prepare yourself. So I've seen my mom on the ground before, overdosing. You can trust a drug addict all you want, but there's always that thought in the back of your head that what if they just randomly go back on it? So you're never gonna not be mentally prepared for the day that you wake up and they're not there no more. But she's been sober for 6 or 7 years, so I'm proud of her with that. Something woke me up that day, out of nowhere, like a loud scream in my ear. I woke up in a panic, and then I heard the bang. She was on the ground, and she was still alive. It was just me and her and Riley, which is my dog. And yeah, she called 911 for herself. The ambulance didn't come fast enough, and she just had a heart attack, I guess, moral of the story. A random heart attack. She was 41 years old. She was fine. She wasn't drug related, just, you know, she's been sober for 6 years. It was simply just a random heart attack that the ambulance didn't come fast enough because we live in the country. And yeah, she ended up passing away in my arms. And she just was fine one night laughing, and the next night she was gone. So, my mom would want... My mom would want me to tell you guys that she loved everybody. My mom would want me to tell you guys that she loved everybody in the community. She loved all you guys in the community, and she wanted nothing but success from everybody. It saddens me to tell you guys that my mom passed away. She passed away. I'm just letting you guys know. I feel like in that moment, I knew that I was about to be like the strongest person in the world, and there's nothing that could stop me.
When Kyle's mom unfortunately passed away, me and 3 other of my teammates, which was Mental, Summons, and Icy, we all decided that we would like to be there personally for Kyle. He's a very close friend of ours. Him and Billy actually came up with each other since they were like 6, like little boys pretty much. So we didn't want to just support him by like donating to the GoFundMe. Like we wanted to literally be there for him. And knowing Kyle, he's the type of person to really appreciate that kind of gesture.
The only thing that kept me sane was all the friends I met, through gaming and online. And those are real connections. They're not fake or made up. Those are real people, real connections. I hang out with them in real life too. Like I talked to you about earlier, I'm gonna invite a couple of them to a wedding and stuff. So without them, I couldn't even imagine what that would feel like. I got a phone call like 3 days after it happened that people were trying to come out here for a funeral, and I never asked anybody to come out. And then when I found out who it was, it made me emotional. And throughout those, I would say about a good week or 2 after she passed, I nonstop had just comfort. I was never alone.
Now, obviously, like we're only about like a 2-hour drive from him, so like we're always here for him. But before we moved to Texas, I feel like he didn't really have like someone to talk to or just like friends to hang out with, like since his mom passed away. Because him and his mom they were this close. Like they were the bestest of friends. And it honestly just breaks my heart talking about it right now.
I just know that she's with me. She pushes me. And I know that she gives me signs, so yeah, that's how I move forward every day. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
This is my grandma. I call her Meemaw, my mother's mom. Did you watch the Thunder game last night?
No. We watched last night. I'm watching it tonight.
Are you watching it tonight?
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, where do we begin here?
It's been dramatic, and now.
Okay. There we go.
Oh.
A little pretty smile, huh?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
How old was she when she got married?
22.
She was 22.
21 or 22, yeah. She waited a while. You kind of look like her, you know?
Not at all.
Yes, you do. You have features of her.
Like what?
Nose, cheeks.
There was a time where she would like talk trash to the other team because they were talking trash. And so, yeah, she was always there supporting. That's about it.
She was like that. She was a good mom.
Yeah.
She was supportive of you.
That's
She was
everybody too, not even
yeah,
just me. Yeah, everybody. It's weird.
She was excited.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been great to see your face out there when you started to play, huh?
Yeah.
Give you a little bit of strength.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, still got it now though.
I know you do. That's pretty cool.
I just want to order some food.
You just want to order?
So what do you think about gaming?
Dude, you know, I'm just learning.
Okay. Well, what do you think so far?
I think I back you up on anything you do.
No, not me. I mean, what do you think about gaming, not me?
It took a while, you know, to even know that it was a sport. But now that I see, that now that I watch you, I was like, this is really cool. I'm still learning though, you know. I think it's cool when y'all switch out the
guns?
The guns and stuff. Of course, everybody says, there's Kyle, there's Kyle. Oh, he's number one. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Learning as I go. I love you, though.
Love you too. Yeah, so after my mom passed, my org at the time, Echo Fox, actually paid for the funeral. So I always appreciate what they've done to help. And so, you know, to pay my respects towards them, underneath her dress and her coffin is an Echo Fox shirt. Being on Echo Fox after that made me want to win for that organization that much harder. I always wanted to be the first one to bring them a team championship. So I was offered to go to Team Envious, which was a bigger organization for sure. But I just thought it was right to win under Echo Fox just because that was the last team my mom remembered. You know, she's wearing the shirt as we speak even right now. So I was just gonna stay loyal to, even though I was having doubts about leaving the certain players I was teaming with, at the end of the day, I chose to stay. And then they hit me with an offer that I just couldn't decline, and they said, all right, well, if you're not gonna join Envy, then we'll just join you.
So the transition from Envy to Echo Fox, we've been welcomed with, you know, open arms.
We wanted to play with Kyle, so we contacted him like, hey, would you like to join Team Envious or whatnot? And then he gave us the reasoning. He had like ties with Echo Fox, and like we understood that. We sat down, we thought about it, it was like, oh, why don't we just go to Echo Fox?
I just never expected that in a million years. So when I heard that offer, I was like, okay, well, I can't really decline that. Like, that's pretty cool. So that's what happened.
Loyalty to me is extremely important because, you know, you have to build a bond and you have to grow that bond over time. You know, you have to give it time to get better and better and better, no matter how many failures you have.
I see a lot of teams struggling whenever they do bring one or two players into an established roster. And I believe that's because they don't make the attempt to try and keep that same identity that they had before bringing them on. I feel like it's a lot easier to kind of bring them on and just kind of bringing up to speed instead of just starting all over as a brand new 5.
I've started with people that no one ever knew whatsoever. Like, didn't know them, or they're amateurs, or they'll never be pro, and we've been to the top. My team's always been top 3 or top 2, even winning a championship, so the proof is there. At the end of season 1, we needed something a little bit more, so we brought in Danny, which is Identis from Mexico.
Our team is a brotherhood, but it's a really fragile brotherhood. So when I went Ghost, like, I knew that my passion was there. It was just like me, myself, I didn't feel comfortable there, not because they were bad or something. It was just Jaddy and Rips. They were the more chill, not chill, but like more calm people. And I feel like the other two Speeding Rushes, they were a little, they used to get more angry when tragedies happen. But I didn't understand why. I feel like everybody wanted to be right. Like everybody wanted to have the right reason, like the right choice, or be the leader, or be the guy that tell everybody what to do. And that's not how I should be doing it. At least not in that way.
Okay, so Solars decided to disappear into thin air. We decided that we would pick up Kenny.
It was pretty overwhelming to join OpTic, especially at the point in Gears when we actually joined them. the fan base is way more hardcore than the NBA fan base, and I also looked up to multiple players like in OpTic, so I was just overwhelmed and nervous and excited all in like one bottle just because of everything that OpTic brings with it.
I feel like Kenny is a lot more like me when it comes to play style. He's more of a team player. He's one of those players who's very diverse and could do anything that you need, whether it's you need him to use a power weapon, you need him to go play front spawn, you need him to sit back and lancer. He's a player that excels pretty much all around. He's great.
It was easy but difficult filling into that team because they're like the best team makeup that you could have. So what I mean by that is when I joined that team, Explosive is the best leader in the game, especially going into Gears 4. His leadership is perfect for Gears 4. So I never had a leader like that before. And then Mental is the strongest Slayer.
I like playing with players who are really aggressive, playmakers, lots of energy. I feel like me and him are the best 1-2 punch in history of any game, to be honest.
What's unique and nice about both of them is Gilbert can flip into the mode where he's slaying with Billy, so he's kind of commanding both of them into the perfect scenario to get all the kills they need. That makes it pretty difficult to beat now that I'm listening to myself say it, but they've got the perfect partnership.
Building a team in Gears is about both skill and relationships. You could always have the skill, you could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't get along with your teammates, you're never gonna be as good as you could have been. Having a good relationship with your team it just adds another layer to that trust. And when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to those pressure situations, you're not gonna listen to somebody that you're not confident in. You're not gonna listen to somebody you don't trust in, which is why having a great relationship with everyone on your team really is a big part. And I feel like that's something a lot of people need to work on.
OpTic prides itself on being close inside of the game and outside of the game, and I found with myself and other players on the team that I was kind of growing distant, and like that's on me and also on them. We weren't just hanging out as much as a team. It was new because we all moved to Texas, so we were all like living on our own, so we weren't like, I guess we just didn't have as much free time, but that was affecting us inside a game, and we were playing like worse as a team. So like kind of fast forwarding like that little pre-knowledge going into Vegas, we played horribly in Vegas. We didn't play like the Brotherhood that we pride ourselves on, or the strong team of individuals that we had. We played like individuals but not together, and I feel like the outside of game connection connected to inside a game, and it just caused us to be pretty sloppy. After getting 4th at the tournament, regardless of individual performances, we had multiple arguments after the event, and those arguments led to us like kind of having outside of game turmoil where people were just annoyed with each other, and rather than like solving the issues and just like talking it out and not resulting to a roster change, they being mainly Explosive decided that he wanted a roster change. That's his ship over there. If he wants a change, that change is happening.
So during that last team meeting when we were deciding what the verdict of the situation was, we had actually come to a conclusion that we would continue to team with each other. But Justin had a last couple comments before that meeting ended, and this was like the literal end of the meeting. Like I was ready to leave, like, all right, I got my team together, and then he started saying some things that kind of, I guess, was on his mind for the past like couple weeks, because like I said, we did take a break. He started telling us that he kind of felt like the scapegoat of the team a little bit, and he also said that he felt like me, Billy, and Summons were starting to be complacent. And in other words, he pretty much told us he thinks that him and Icy want to work harder than all three of us combined. As someone who holds myself to the standards that I do, like I kind of took that personally, especially coming from Kenny. Justin was one of my closest friends, probably like on the team, and like we always had each other's back through everything. And him telling me that, like, In the moment, I kind of just snapped and just kind of started yelling at him, and that was the end of it. It pissed me off extremely, and you couldn't tell from the other guys, but all three of them were mad too. I spoke to the other two afterwards, and they got mad about it too, even though they didn't really say anything because I kind of just took over the mic. I just started snapping on him, and I pretty much told him like there's no way like you believe that, and that was kind of what ended us to having drop Kenny.
You can't really prepare yourself for a moment or just a period of time and being an OpTic. It's just kind of something you gotta like just wing and go with on the fly and hope your emotions don't get the best of you. But it was a really cool experience. You don't build something together and not have a kind of friendship, especially a friendship where, you know, you're really close with the people. And at the time when I was like on the team with them, I was going through some family issues also, and they were the people who were the closest to me, and they kind of kept me afloat with Taylor. And you know, just for that like simple fact alone, that I'd team with them again, just because they're the best teammates that I've ever had. Simple put. Even if we were losing, best teammates I've ever had.
We just weren't playing good as a team, and I personally thought that I don't want to say we, but it is we, but I personally just thought that them in particular had that mental block against OpTic, to the point where I remember going to the Echo Fox studios in LA.
You get a hug. Oh, you kidding me, man?
And going up to Rick Fox and saying, like, we need to have a talk. You need to help us, because I feel like personally these guys have a mental block against OpTic. I feel like I see it, like, we talk differently when we play them. We play differently when we play them, but other teams we run through. So I remember Rick Fox talked to us for about an hour about how Coach Phil Jackson sat Kobe Bryant and Shaq down in a room with a lot of other people. There was candles lit everywhere. It was a dark room, and they were forced to like hold hands and like meditate together because they were going through like similar struggles in terms of like becoming one as a team. So there's like little stories like that Rick Fox is telling us and trying to help us, you know, become better.
What about you over here, Kyle? You think it's gonna be a loss or what?
It's gonna be W, but I'm not much of a talker. We'll see.
All right, we're gonna let the game play it out. It's the grand finals right here at Dallas Open. Echo Fox, OpTic Gaming. Lock it up.
But it didn't really work because you have to apply it. You can't just listen. You gotta apply it. So overall, I think the teams didn't work mainly because I feel like that mental block was there before me, obviously, because they kept losing the OpTic before me. I know for a fact the mental block was not there for me. I don't think about that when I play. Like, I know it wasn't there for me. They can think what they want, but I know deep down they know that I'm right. So they can disagree and be hard-headed, but man to man, we know what happened. I know that's why we failed. I don't think it had to do with individual skill. I don't think it had to do with anything other than us being brats. So if we put that team together right now and we're not brats, we'd win, and they know it. So, you know, like I said, Gears of War is filled with a lot of immaturity, and it comes from people you never expect. So Echo Fox falls apart. It left me and Fran to look for three. So now the team is Kenny and Icy, which were on OpTic, me and Fran, which were on Echo, and then Powers, which was the rookie that's never been to an event. So we made our team, and the first event we got second, and then the second event we stuck it out. We got, I think we got fourth or so, but we didn't even play OpTic that event.
Trust in a team is honestly everything. It's just like a relationship, like literally. If you don't trust everyone on your team, then like there's always gonna be like that missing spot that you can't figure out like why you can't fill it in, you know? Like having that trust with one another is another thing that'll help you succeed, especially in the game of Gears of War. Team play and just like kind of moving around with each other and knowing like each other's tendencies plays a big part. And honestly, without trust, like that's where like the really hectic teams, I feel like that's like the root of their problem, is that not only do they not have like that voice to listen to, but when somebody does try and attempt to like speak up and step up, then the players don't trust them, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, what it takes to build a team that's full of brotherhood is, I think the first thing you would need is respect. Respect for each other's opinions. You have 5 totally different human beings that have 5 different ideas of how to play the game and what way they think it should be played, whether it be fast-paced, slow-paced, or, you know, different strategies. And you have to just respect one another's opinions and come to a common agreement on how, you know, stuff should be ran. So I would say it all starts from respect. If you don't have respect, you don't really have much of anything.
When you're looking to build a team, it's very important to trust each other. If I was looking to team with somebody or play with somebody that I felt was kind of using me as a stepping stone and wasn't like giving their, I won't say not giving their full effort, but just not giving everything to the team, and I felt like there's like some lack of trust with them, it makes the team perform worse. So having trust between you and your teammates is something that's really important. If you don't have it, you're not going to trust each other inside a game, outside a game, and there's just going to be a lot of questions that you don't want with a potentially good roster.
When you build a team, you know, there's a lot of brotherhood involved because, you know, these are the guys you talk to every single day. You know, you practice with them every single day, just like any traditional other sport. You know, it's the same concept. It's just video games. You know, so you build a true bond with them, you hang out, you know, you build that chemistry, which ties into in-game, because the more you like somebody and you consider them as your brother, as, you know, a great teammate, you know, the better you're gonna play at these tournaments or just in practice in general. You know, you gotta like each other, you gotta gel.
You have to do like the right things. You have to play for each other. You have to help each other. I think brotherhood, it means loyalty. Because even if you don't love somebody, you will still have their back. If something happened and you're in the same team, you will have their back.
What it takes to build a team, Gears Pro Circuit, is you gotta have trust with each other. First, you gotta trust each other not to, you know, leave you guys for another team. And you guys have to be dedicated. And also, you have to grind the game together, get better together, that's how you grow. But you guys just have to have each other's back.
A lot of snaking goes around. With that, snaking means that people would talk behind other people's backs to get on the team, and then they'll have somebody drop from a team, you know, so there's always a lot of drama with that. So the chemistry and brotherhood is extremely important.
When I'm walking around tournaments, I'll often like find myself in the open bracket area, just looking at players, seeing how they're doing, looking at certain teams for a couple reasons. One, looking at who's performing well, whether that's team-wise or player-wise, and B, also paying attention to who I could play. I think it's very important to actually do that, because if you're not scouting out the competition, then you're like kind of dumb for not doing that. If you can get some background on who you're going to play, it's just going to prepare you even better for your matchup.
Honestly, building a team is just having an identity. That's really all it is, and it's different from traditional sports because obviously, like, you can't just get 10 people who are the same height. That's not gonna work out. You guys will just get dunked on all day or something. But in esports, it's different because it's not about who we are. It's about like who Explosive is. You know, it's not about who Gilbert is. Yeah, I don't have to be 6'4" to be considered good at Gears of War. It's about a controller. Everyone's on the same even playing field.
So in traditional sports, most teams are being built by management or upper management on like who they want on their roster. And Gears of War, it's decided by the players. You know, the players decide who they want to play with, and all 5 people come together and decide what team they want to fully have. And sometimes you might start with 2 or 3 pieces, and you're looking for your 4th and 5th to fill out the roster.
Usually how it goes is it goes by majority votes most of the time. So like if 3 people want this guy off the team and 1 person doesn't, then that 1 person who doesn't kind of has to decide whether or not like he wants to include himself like with the person who wants to be dropped, or wants to stay with like the core 3, I guess, and just kind of build from there. I guess like the main thing right now in esports is you're never really guaranteed a spot. Like you're never gonna be safe, which is one thing, like which is the reason why I believe every player should be giving their all day in, day out. Because like I said, you could wake up tomorrow and all of this is gone.
I feel like people that don't play competitive, they think that video games are like a bunch of fun, and that all you do is have fun. You crack open a beer and you just play and laugh and be stress-free. But that's like the complete opposite of what we do. Try playing with 4 other people, and try playing against 5 other people, and try meshing 5 people together as one against another team of 5. It's difficult. And I just feel like people that don't play won't understand until they do. So it's not all fun and games. I get pimples. I get stressed out. I can't sleep some nights knowing that my team isn't successful. It's just like sports in a way, just without the physicality. We're just like them. We overthink. We make roster changes. We don't like some of our teammates. We love some of our teammates. We make trades. We have to break people's hearts, let go of people. It's a hard business, just like sports.
Who do you look up to and learn? Who'd you learn from?
For me, it was I looked up to, I guess you could say, LeBron James, just because his intelligence. It always seems like he can gel 5 people. Outside of the Lakers and what he's done this season, his whole career, he can gel 5 people pretty well, to the point where he can at least make the NBA Finals. So I always looked up to his intelligence. Westbrook, we're Thunders fans, so I looked up to Westbrook's intensity and his passion, and I try to relate that to when I play. I try to be like them. I try to add pieces of their mindsets into my game, and so looking up to all the sports people in my life, those are the 2 that I truly admire.
I can see it sometimes when you're playing, how intense you are and how focused. I know you're focused. And you get aggravated sometimes too, huh?
Yeah, it's like
it's part of the game.
Yeah, I have a switch where I can there's one switch where I can turn into a beast and start screaming at the other team, and that's like the Westbrook side. And there's the calm poise, like everybody calm down, this is what we're gonna do, like LeBron type of mentality, just very calm. Like every time LeBron plays, he's just calm. You wouldn't even think he's nervous, because he's not. He's very calm. He understands what's going on. He soaks into the moment. And actually, that's a problem that Westbrook has. He doesn't necessarily sometimes slow the game down in his head. And it'd be 4th quarter, a minute left, and he's going so fast, fumbling the ball, getting turnovers. So it's that's actually something Westbrook should do better, even though I love him to death, but he should slow the game down just a tad bit.
But he's passionate.
Very passionate.
Very passionate.
But you gotta be both. You gotta be passionate and smart to win championships. I just admire those two players.
You'll get where you're going.
I hope so. Gears of War 5.
You stay focused. Don't let no back noise mess you up. You're good. You're good to go.
5th time's the charm. Gears of War 5.
I know.
High 5. After my mom passed, yeah, my drive to win was insane. You do not win the event at the event. This is never how it works. You win the event at home. You win by preparation. You win by practice. You win by watching film. We need 4 people that are on the same wavelength, that think the same, which is very hard to do. So until that day, you know, we're not gonna win. But once I get 4 people, and it could be the team I'm on right now, 4 people that all combine and mesh together and listen to each other like a relationship, like, we'll be okay, and I'm sure we'll win.
As of very recent, I've actually kind of like mended the fences, you know, mended the relationships with the 3 players from that team. And I didn't really have an issue with mental or summons. It was mainly, you know, Gilbert. And I'd say that like everything is good now, but obviously I'd like to beat them. I don't like that I was released from that roster and, you know, they just went on winning. I'd like to take that happiness away from them. I feel like the name of the game is trying to find a brotherhood like that, because there's, again, not many. And once you find that brotherhood, keeping that brotherhood, because once you lose it, like you're gonna look back on it and wish you had it back.
Someone goes, give me the offer of getting my dream team, Latin American team, literally, it was hard. It was hard to go with a friend and left the other friend, because, you know, I just wish things would have been different. I know things could have been different. I do not regret it. I just wish some things could have been different, because I don't think it was the best way to do it. I didn't want to drop Yadi.
It just hurt me the most, because I was a part of Ghost Gaming before they had a Twitter, before they even had a logo, before anything. We were the original team. I was the original captain of that squad, you know, and we were their first esports team. So it hurt me a lot, because it's something I felt like I built as well, but not really, you know, I guess you could say. We built something great, but as you can see, it could all be casted away after a few months, just like that.
I feel like there's hard feelings after, you know, an org drops you, or the team you've been teaming with for a long time drops you. There's always that like feeling you're gonna have that, like, damn, like they actually dropped me. At the end of the day, is like I said, it's business, and they want to do what's best for them. So you gotta do what's best for you.
In the moment that you lose a big organization that you were sponsored by, it sucks, because it's like the people that sponsored you believed in you at first, and then they let you go, and it's gut punching at first, but eventually you learn to get over it, and that's just a part of the business. We lost Echo Fox as an org around October 2018, after the second event, after San Diego. It definitely sucked, heartbroken, because I was addicted to wanting to win for that organization. Like, I wanted to see Rick Fox high-five me and smile and be like, you did it, brother. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
I think we was arguing in a group chat. It was me and Justin, arguing back and forth, you know. Everybody had negative vibes, so we're just arguing. And things were said, obviously. I'm not gonna get into it, but things were said by me and him. And I think Kenny made a new group chat with everybody else. I think it got to the point where, like, I knew I was getting dropped. I just felt like I was. So, like, I texted Fran, you know, saying, like, I forgot what I said, but I'm pretty sure, like, I thanked him for giving me a chance and stuff like that. And the next day, I think Kyle gives me a call, explaining to me, like, everything that happened. And I just, like, I didn't break down. I was just like, damn, like, actually, like, happening, you know?
Things started to change after that. I never talked about this on camera, but yeah, I started to notice a change in myself after that. After losing the organization, the stresses with that, you know, you're not getting salary, you have to find something new. The game's already been out for like 2 years. Organizations want to wait until Gears 5. You're stressing about the money. That was probably one of the darkest times of my life because the girlfriend that I had that has been supporting me for years, you know, I made some mistakes in terms of taking my anger on her verbally. With my mom's situations and stuff, and yeah, she ended up leaving, and so I felt like I had to deal with 2 deaths at once, and so I just now, I think, came to the grip with all that. It's a little emotional just because these jerseys are pretty cool. I like them, so there's a lot of memories that are involved with them, so I don't really feel sad. I just feel like I wish I could wear them again, and I feel like I am one day, so it's kind of like how I look at it. I haven't been myself since October, to be honest, and I know like a lot of people see that. I had to find myself and see what I need to do to make myself happy. But now that I'm starting to find myself and to start to find self-happiness, I feel like the Gears of War passion is coming back fast, very fast. I just can't wait to feel that feeling when you put the new Gears of War game into the Xbox and it feels like you're a little kid all over again. I'm not gonna let OpTic or anybody in that matter get in my way for Gears of War 5. But the thing is that it's not up to me. It's up to me and 4 other people. So you have to all have that mindset. So I know I have it. So I'm not letting anybody get in my way. So if there's anything that I do know is that in Gears 5, I am gonna win a championship for my mother. And I believe that, truly.
Who's Gilbert?
Wow, that's a big question.
Imagine being in a street brawl and you're in between a circle of guys and they're all just punching you at the same time.
Gilbert is your team captain of OpTic Gaming.
He's the best player in the world right now. It's undisputable.
He's a phenomenal leader.
He's bar none a tier 1 player of all time.
His ability to absorb the game and control the team is unparalleled.
I hate losing. I don't ever want to get used to the feeling of losing. Like, that's not something I want to get used to.
Gilbert is the guy you can always count on to get the job done.
I hold myself to standards that I believe everyone should hold themselves to.
They're that unstoppable team.
They are so good, and they don't lose.
I just want to beat them so bad.
It's about winning. At the end of the day, that's what matters most. If you're not giving your all, you're honestly just bringing your team down. Oh man, this is fun.